We are those of Laitos. And we are again with this instrument. The nature of our expectation is only to be of service to the highest good of humanity. In this regard, we hope to deliver love and light of all rays to all seekers who call. We would ask that any query be directed towards meaningful transmission affording us the opportunity to share the much needed truths that have been distorted under your veiled conditions. So, in this way, we hope to be of service these via we create the instrument by process. We hope to uncover yet unspoken mysteries. So we would ask for any queries at this time.
Greetings, brothers and sisters of Laitos. Thank you for sharing space with us again. You mentioned unspoken mysteries. That kind of jumped out at me, that word. And I feel called to ask if, in the spirit of meaningful transmissions, if the unspoken mysteries have to do with probing the depths of the self or interactions with other self, or are you referring to more adept, esoteric, sort of magical workings? Thank you.
We are those of Laitos. We believe we understand, but we feel obliged to remind seekers the questioning process is so vital in the protection of free will, but the right questions could lead to revelatory sharing. So we would suggest raising or targeting queries in a way to uncover the many nuanced etymologies that have converged on your historical and scholarly understandings. So please continue with your questions. We are those of Laitos. Again, we greet you in the love and the light of the infinite creator. We have readjusted the bandwidth of the signal to this instrument, so he should find transmission more comfortable. We offer ourselves at your service to answer any query you may have at this time.
Um, the nature of these series of queries will be sort of all over the place, but I would just like my brother and fellow instrument to have more experience in expressing various kinds of queries. So just kind of going off the universal cuff here. Could you offer any words of insight or comfort to those who are really struggling right now with the dynamics at play in our mainstream, where there's many angry, many tensions back and forth between viewpoints and um, current events with a lot of violence, and there's a thought of how could it get any better? We're not really connected. Seeing all of the destruction and so on, there are some who really struggle, even on the path of the seeker, who consider themselves wanderers. They're struggling with this dynamic at play. So, any insight or comment you could make for those struggling with the distortions of violence and uh, tension between the so-called us versus them, if you could offer anything in that vein, thank you.
We're those of Laitos. And thank you, my sister, for such a pertinent and poignant question. These times are somewhat unprecedented on your plane, as the change of density will create turmoil amongst those not ready for the change. This is unfortunate, and we, your brothers and sisters in sorrow, feel every tear you collectively shed. But we understand the necessity of this turmoil. The catalyst it provides will be the fire that forges the fourth density civilization you are destined to create. this, unfortunately, is beginning and has been concurrent for a long time. The battle for Earth's polarity has left major scars in the psyche of your world's populations. And the tribalism and fear feeds the dogs of war. But fear not, these times are ended, and even though there will be hard times ahead, you are on the path to something incredible, to be a golden example for other developing worlds of what is possible to overcome, what hardships and difficulties can be faced, can be thwarted, and how love is the central weapon that will ultimately win all battles and wars. The solace that could be taken by seekers is one of progress, even if it comes at a cost. We hope this has given some answer to your question, but we feel you would like to ask another. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you for your sharing on that query, on that request for insight and reflection. I'm grateful. I just want to open it for Dan and Fred if they have a query before I ask another. see Fred has his hand up.
I have one question. Can you tell me why it is that some transient information is really downplayed by social memory complexes when, at least in my view, a lot of it can be an assistant with the awakening process in a lot of people in the sinkhole of indifference?
We are those Laitos, and we thank you, my brother. We will attempt to answer your question. Much of the transient information that is asked of us during channeled dialogues is potentially more damaging than helpful. The information is not inherently dangerous itself, and that is why we will abide the free will's request. But the potential for it to, for example, inspire fear or to give opportunity for control, or many other distortions and misguided uses of such transient material, leads us to balance its worth in comparison to teaching the pure truths of the law of one that will always lead you to love. There are other reasons, but I hope this answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Question. Perhaps it's more personal for me, but if you cannot answer it due to free will, if you could answer on a more general level, I would appreciate that. I'm curious if you have any guidance for me on my journey in terms of one day being a channeler, what I can do to further that progress, and if not, you cannot answer that question, then any general advice would be good for the group. Thank you.
We are those Laitos. We thank you for this very personal query, and we hope to be of some assistance. You are in good company with this group. There is much potential, further growth and development from all involved. The in-streaming energies sorry. The in-streaming energies that you are learning to focus is an important and relatively advanced practice inside a circle like this. And like many things, practice and intent are powerful co-creators. We do not want to push or influence your free will, but we will offer this the Confederation is waiting and eager to communicate in whatever way is available with all those who seek us. And by a specific calling, specific assistance can be received. So we would advise you and any other humans who want to reach out and connect, not to hold back from trying. These abilities are already awakened in many, in fact, most, but without awareness and trust and confidence, these fundamental systems atrophy due to neglect. They are easily healed though, all it takes is meditation and focus, and my brother, we look forward to communing with you ourselves at another time space. We hope this has addressed your question.
Yes, thank you. Fred, do you have a question?
Yes. With all of the astrological events, including the sun's events happening concurrently and recently, it's said that we have a lot of strange and unique new energies coming in. How are we best able to surf these for our benefit as individuals and as a whole? And how does that actually help us?
We are those of Laitos. This is a very complex question to answer at this point, as this instrument is beginning to reach the limits of but we shall try to address the query briefly. As with your previous question, this also relates to the changes that Earth must go through on its evolutionary path. The fourth density has some striking differences to the third density universe you know through your telescopes and microscopes. There is far more energies and, shall we say, dimensional overlap then you would have been able to conceive outside of your science fiction. The energies that the Earth is approaching, which will continue periodically for quite some time, are what you could think of as Gaia's initiation. These energies are needed to activate and align, to connect and propagate necessary vibratory changes which will allow the consciousness of the planet to raise both its baseline and its apex levels of vibration. As we spoke about before, the change may have some chaotic elements that humanity will have to face. This cosmic baptism is a small but necessary step. We are those of Laitos. We thank you for your questions.